What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, what I want to discuss is why the fourth stimulus check is actually in question at this point. Honestly, it's not a big deal because we're still very early on in the stages of the negotiation process. However, I want to kind of enlighten you on what is currently being said at this time. So let's get into the update for today. First, a lot of people are asking about the bipartisan infrastructure package and whether or not we are going to see this, because some people are saying that there's no way this is going to be paid for. Well, honestly, the reason why people are having such a hard time with this infrastructure package, this is a bipartisan bill that a group of 21 senators and the White House agreed upon just the other week. But the reason why this is so difficult at this time is because nobody can figure out an adequate way to actually pay for this bill. The numbers from Democrats, at least according to multiple reports, are actually not correct, and they didn't correctly state their figures in their plan. So that's creating major issues from some moderates and from progressives and from Republicans as well. Now, what we know is it is because of this that many are expecting the American Families Plan to pretty much be delayed. Okay, now let's just break it down. Nancy Pelosi said that her goal was to pass this bill, this bipartisan infrastructure package, by July 4th. Seeing that this is this coming Sunday in 5 days, I highly doubt that is going to happen. But, and again, it's actually not highly doubt, it's almost impossible that this would even happen. But here's what we know. The reason why a lot of people are hung up on passing these two different packages, number one, is because we need to see a bipartisan bill pass first, so that then Democrats and progressives as well will then know how much to put in to the budget reconciliation bill. Because here's what we're hearing. Right now we know that Senator Joe Manchin, and he stated this on Sunday, is that he would support a $2 trillion Democrat-only plan. That means that is the budget reconciliation bill. Well, we know Senator Bernie Sanders is actually working with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to try to get a $6 trillion infrastructure bill passed, and that would be a Democrat-only bill as well. But this is where Democrats stand divided, is who do they go and support? Who do they favor? Do they favor a $2 trillion plan that is more towards moderates, or do they favor a possibly $4 to $6 trillion plan that would be in favor of progressives? Well, that's the problem at this point. But here's what Bernie Sanders had to say today on Twitter, and this is why so many people are having a tough time, is because Bernie Sanders said, "For those who say the budget framework I propose costs too much, what would you cut?" And then he puts out a list. Combating climate change? Would you cut child care? Universal pre-K? Paid family and medical leave? Dental, hearing, and vision? This would be for Medicare. Or would we cut housing? Long-term home health care? Child tax credit? Waiting. That was what he stated. That is exactly what he said. Now let's go back and break this down. Should we cut anything to combat climate change? Well, I live in Washington State, okay? In Washington State, in Oregon, California, other states as well, we're kind of going through this massive heat wave. Right now, my computer says outside it's 114 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty warm. That's not so hot you can't walk outside. Well, if a dog you couldn't, you'd probably burn your feet. But if you're wearing shoes, you'd probably be okay. So should we do something to fight this, or should we just let it go? Should we fight, or should we do something and cut possibly childcare to make childcare more affordable, where people that are actually taking their children to a daycare center, the daycare center is able to hire the right people that are trained, the right personnel to make sure your children are safe and taken care of? And should this be affordable, or should this be very expensive? Well, according to some, it needs to be affordable. Should we include universal pre-K? And I talked about this in the video I did earlier this morning, is how President Biden states we need 4 more years of schooling. 2 years of preschool and 2 years of community college. Well, that kind of leads us into the next thing, is should we have free community college? Should we have universal pre-K and community college? Should these things be cut? Should they? I'm asking you. Because honestly, right now, nobody knows. No lawmaker knows. Again, I'm not a lawmaker. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy here on YouTube providing these updates. But what I can tell you is nobody knows how to solve this problem, how to solve this crisis. And then Bernie Sanders goes on to ask, what about paid family and medical leave? Now, some lawmakers say that paid family and medical leave should be something that every employer must do. This shouldn't be something that's on the federal government to require every single employer puts this out there. Now, do I think that this is essential? Do I think this is needed? Yeah. I think paid family and medical leave should be very important. It should be something that many employers include. But again, some employers don't include this because the people that they usually employ are not the ones that are starting families. They're just not there yet. They're usually a little bit younger. We also know Bernie Sanders is fighting for dental, hearing, and vision. This is for Medicare. He also wants to see the eligibility age, the requirement, go from 65 down to 60, or possibly even doing a buy-in at 60 and having that option. Well, that's up for discussion. What about housing? At this point, housing has just been insane. I think in the Seattle area from the last year, we are seeing about a 21% increase in prices on home purchases. So that's pretty good if you own a home, right? But if you don't own a home, that's not good. That is not good because now you're almost being priced out of the market. But is housing, should that be included? Should we see affordable housing? Some say yes. Some say no, that shouldn't be required. It shouldn't be the government's responsibility. But at the same time, the government does offer affordable housing. So we'll see. There's also long-term home health care. Should this be included or should it be cut? What about the child tax credit? Now, here's one thing I can say. Right now, there are many lawmakers that are struggling to put something together because they're trying to figure out a way to make every single lawmaker happy. But something that was said previously, and this is something that's said, quite a bit, is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And what this means is don't let the bill, whatever bill, just a good bill, don't let it go to waste because it's not perfect. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Now, what we know right now is people are questioning what Bernie Sanders is saying, the $6 trillion. People are also questioning what Senator Joe Manchin is saying. And, well, should we provide a $2 trillion infrastructure package or should we go a little bit higher? Well, this is what is putting into question the stimulus checks, and here's the reason why. Is there a need for a fourth stimulus check? Yes, there is. Is there a need for a recurring stimulus check? Of course. And I think nobody would question if Congress passed a fourth stimulus check. I don't think anybody would question it. But if they passed a recurring stimulus check of $2,000 per month, I think many moderates and many Republicans would question this and say that this is not the time, especially now that the economy is starting to rebound. But what we do have is we have to figure out a way to cut something out of the current bill or the current framework that either Bernie Sanders, President Biden, or somebody else have put in front of us. We need to figure out a way to cut out about $300 billion of that in order to slide in stimulus checks. Because let's just be honest, stimulus checks haven't actually been pushed into a bill yet, into this infrastructure package. Most assume it will be. I'm assuming it's going to be, but it hasn't been actually pushed in yet. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But what I can tell you is right now, if we do not see $300 billion pretty much opened up, or a spot for about $300 to $400 billion, a stimulus check, especially a fourth one, is highly unlikely at this time. However, many moderates are also saying that right now that they cannot count on passing an extension to the child tax credits of $250 to $300 per month yet, because we haven't even seen the payments go out. We don't know how effective they were going to be. We don't know if they will truly pull children out of poverty. We don't know if parents are going to waste that money on something else. We don't know if parents will take that money and throw it into the stock market, throw it into cryptocurrencies and hope they strike it rich. Okay, we don't know that. And this is the reason why lawmakers say that we must wait. We must wait and see. And on top of that, we really need to figure out a way to pay for this bill. And lawmakers at this point are saying that it's going to come down to, do we see corporations pay a larger tax rate? Is that going to happen? Are we going to see the rich and wealthy pay their fair share in taxes? Many people say yes, but a lot of people say no, that will not be included. So we're going to see what happens, but what I can tell you right now is, honestly, do we think that large corporations, do we think, the Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerbergs, and Warren Buffetts of this world are going to foot the bill of this infrastructure package? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. But what I do think is going to happen, I think we are going to get to the bottom of either will this bill, this budget reconciliation bill, will this come out to $2 trillion, $4 trillion, or potentially $6 trillion? Right now we got a bunch of options, but how many people are actually going to support these bills? So that's what we are waiting on. But right now, this is what is causing the fourth stimulus check to be in severe question at this time, because number one, it's not actually in any of the infrastructure packages at this time. Number two, it's going to cost probably at least $300 billion just to get it funded. And number three, there's a lot of people in the Senate that do not support another stimulus check. And it's simply because the economy is rebounding. So as we hear more, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. Make sure you guys are not out there in the heat. If you guys live on the West Coast, if you guys are part of this heat wave, make sure you guys are staying cool. Drink a lot of fluids, drink a lot of water, and just stay cool. Stay out of the sun if you can. So just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.